The camera might have been on standby during your talk.
Oh no.
An engineer.
But they were
The camera was on standby.
I can do it again. I'm here.
¿Cuánto tiempo tengo? ¿Cuánto tiempo tengo?
Turkish chat.
I put on record now.
How much time do I have?
Now, after
Change or talk
my job, then they have to write it down. I think it's not fair. So, can we skip this resume part? After starting? Because we have the video.
I think too.
I mean, maybe
What about a short
Çok
description that we can put it under the video?
Good. Couple of sentences.
this was about
So
how
when I
to
learn,
negotiate with banks.
I find it's difficult for me to write a summary of it.
Turkish chocolate.
Okay. Entonces, en esta cosa de la bio, pero vigila que se haga. Ahora. O sea, lo de esta mañana, ¿verdad? No, thank you very much. Y la bio y que, o sea, no, que no se falta, ¿vale?
Ruth, ¿me puedes pasar la libreta? Tengo ahí apuntes. Sí.
Bueno, es para mí. Aquí,
Thank you.
para mí es bueno.
For you too? Oh, for the other hand.
Petition. Petition.
Good.
Never soon.
¿Cuánto tiempo tengo?
O sea, pero un momento, que la sombra justo delante de la bien program.
Perfecto. El logo is here.
Bye-bye.
The logo needs to be here.
No, ojo. Mueve el... Dile que mueva la cosa.
Haz la foto antes.
Ah, pero tú tienes el logo.
¿Cuánto tiempo tengo? Contestadme. Os hay que mirar.
Media hora.
Half an hour. Okay.
Can you move so there is not a shadow on the video?
Oh, so
No.
you want to sit here? Der Tour war das changing.
Soll ich mit dir tauschen?
Ja, tu das mit mir, weil das ist ja nur der Computer, glaube ich, der da im Computer ist.
Nicht besser. Ich denke, hier ist besser, weil...
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
My turn. This is the turn. I don't eat it now.
Work is over.
Çok seviyorum.
They're at a disadvantage.
No,
No.
Let's fight.
No, but now Gala is better. Gala is eating chocolate for all the group. She's the coordinator of eating chocolate.
Biliyoruz.
Okay. So good afternoon. My name is Paulo, but I'm known as Murdoch in the Activistas collective.
Murdoch?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is your name?
No, it's my nickname. Yeah, we say that in Activistas we do copyleft activism because we like it to be replicated. Yeah, that's all. So some data about Activistas, as the name self-explains, we do activism in the internet. We were born in 2008. We do activism in the internet, but also in the streets, in bank offices. And one thing to say is that we are not anonymous group. We do other kind of actions, but it doesn't mean that some of us like their actions. You know? It's kind of, this collective is kind of hive mind where a lot of people is put together and they debate, and the best actions are those that take place. And usually it's like a long latent period in a mailing list, and suddenly a new action appears and there's a huge amount of traffic. And it's open, of course it's copyleft, and it's open to anyone. If you want to join us, you just have to subscribe to our mailing list. It's only Spanish, sorry, but you can subscribe anyway. And some of us, most of us don't know in real life, but some of us do meet in an annual event called Hack Meeting, which takes place in countries in like Italy or also in Mexico, and we do our own event in Spain.
There are local events and there is one international event.
No, not
For
really.
you,
Like
yeah.
every country organizes its own event as
Okay.
they want. So our mythos is, we have an cheap infrastructure, and it's a mailing list, a website, a wiki, a Twitter account that we don't use so much, and it used to be a chat, but now usually it's empty. But it gets full when there's an action, because it's more fluent than communicating by mail. So the way it works is that people just comment on subjects they want and they are concerned. They express their ideas in the mailing list. Of course, lots of ideas pop up, but those who are the best are the ones that we implement. And Hacktivistas is also a place to discuss about intellectual property issues, privacy, political analysis, technology, or WikiLeaks, or to find legal advisory, or you can also find lawyers in this kind of subjects, and you can also find a speaker if you are organizing an event. Yeah, these kind of things. So, this is our wikis, just to show you. How do we take our actions? So usually, it's as simple as buying a domain name in the internet, or some group design a website where we explain the campaign, and we usually reuse material from previous campaigns. We do a bit of development on innovation and creativity. During the implementation, people give feedback, and when it's ready, we contact the press. And it's very important because in my case, I didn't care too much about the press, but you realize that you want your actions to be seen by a lot of people, so at the end you have to make it easier for them. Like, yes, an advice is to do the journalist's job, like just writing their piece of news or press notice. If you give it to them, it's much easier that they to do it. And also expect censorship, but in a good way, like taking advantage of it, because it gives you more visits and this stuff. It's simple, isn't it? So, one action, the first one, was in the end of 2008, and it was a public peer-to-peer download, because it was a time that the context, in this context, the government was making a lot of propaganda against file sharing, very aggressive, in TV and radio and newspapers. So we organized, and I have to say that in Spain it's not illegal to download a copyright work. It's just illegal to sell it or redistribute it, making profit. But if you do it even in the public street, there's nothing they can do to you because it's not illegal. So we organized a public download in front of the main government office in Madrid. And I can show you the video. It's short.
This thing against the piratery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oops. Okay.
El Ministerio de Cultura del PSOE, sin embargo, aliado con los lobbies de la industria cultural, encabezada por las GAE y ahora representados bajo la llamada Comisión Antipiratería, han abierto un proceso de control y regulación de la red sin precedentes. Este plan para terminar con el derecho de acceso a la cultura viene acompañado de una millonaria campaña de propaganda pagada por todos nosotros, y en la que se vierten falsedades como la que hemos desmentido hoy, que descargarse archivos sin ánimo de lucro de las redes peer-to-peer es ilegal. No lo es. Hace 10 días enviamos un burofax certificado al jefe de unidades de delitos telemáticos de la Guardia Civil avisando de la descarga pública. No nos han detenido. Los jueces y los policías españoles se han pronunciado previamente afirmando que no es delito.
Vaciados los bolsillos, llegan los recaudadores, monaguillos con cepillo que exigen donaciones, pagas al comprar CDs, explican por todas las canciones, que larga es la lista de derechos de autores, derecho a cobrar por un tema ajeno, derecho a imponer canon por culeros, derecho a legislar para perseguir a quien no paga, apaga y vámonos, que las GAE es el que manda.
Aunque sabemos que cualquier reforma legal se traducirá en un desarrollo tecnológico que impida su aplicación real. Esa no es razón para permitir que sean los lobbies de la industria y las GAE quienes decidan las leyes que nos gobiernan. Esta campaña buscaba demostrar sus mentiras. A partir de este momento hay que demostrarles que ahora la red actúa. Libera la cultura, ocupa la red.
¡Una liebre con la mantilla!
Yeah, so you get the idea. And so to see how much, well, we have collected also how much money they have overspent in this kind of anti-piracy campaigns. So in 2005, this is the name of the campaign changes, but you can see that the first one is more than 1 million euro. The second one in 2006 is almost 3 million. Yeah, 1 million, 2 million. And on the third one is almost 2 million. And the first one, it was so, I cannot imagine how was it so expensive. It was only an advertisement that they put on TV or on radio. And I can show you the advertisement. So, I lost the window completely.
And government doesn't force the the companies to pay their campaigns.
Who pays the campaign?
You know, not that government goes to Sony or I don't know whom
No,
and
no,
says,
they
hey,
say public
we-
funds.
we make this campaign, give us the money.
No, I will explain you later because
Yeah.
they are interesting information. So this is the ad. It's less than 1 minute, and it was 1 million euros.
The
¿Tienes más o menos 20 minutos, Pablo?
Vale.
the making of the clip or the sending out the clip. or all together?
What?
How do you call it? Yeah, the sending the clip on TV, which is one thing, or the making of the clip.
The whole campaign, I guess, is making the clip and also
Okay,
TV.
so-
Yes, maybe the guy's part was putting it on TV.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the picture. So what happened? The conclusion is that as police was properly notified 10 days before and nobody was arrested, so file sharing was legal because they have to arrest you if they have the evidence that you are doing something illegal. So 2 years later we knew that this action was really powerful, and it even appeared in one of the WikiLeaks cable. Yeah, after that I will explain how the US government has influenced Spain in order to put some anti-piracy laws. Yeah, we also in this campaign, what we did is they did a website and was full of misinformation, saying that this thing that file sharing was illegal and that using peer-to-peer networks was so dangerous that the hackers could enter your computer and this kind of shit. And we fixed it for them. It was called, it means like if you are legal, then you are legal, no? And we said if you are legal, then share. This was the domain. And it was a fake, well, not a fake, a real, because the fake was the government one because it included misinformation, and we fixed this web page and included also links to Yamendo, which is Creative Commons music, Pirate Bay and others. So you have here the website. Well, it's more or less the same scheme. We also
did you hack it? Like if they go to the government website, it jumps to yours?
no, but we did it. If you find it in Google, you get ours first.
Nearly hacking.
So after that, in when was it? In 2009, with the new government. Well, no, not the new government. With another election and the same government. There's a new minister for culture. His name is better known as Cinde. She was a Spanish filmmaker and scriptwriter. Was a former president of the Spanish Academy of Arts and blah blah blah, which is in charge of organizing the prizes for the Spanish cinema, like Oscars in Spain. Some relevant data is that her father was the founder of the academy where she was the president. His brother was also involved in the film industry. So she becomes the minister for culture. One of the first measures she takes is giving aids, obviously, to filmmakers. So, as she was before in this academy, the Internet User Association pressed charges against her for violating one of the Spanish law, which said she had clear interest in the cinema industry. So it was incompatible, right? As according to this law, but the church were rejected. And she's most known as for the Cinde Act. Ley Cinde means in the act, and I will explain what's it. She's Cinde. And it's well, it was a campaign, but not very famous. It's a playing words. Pirate is like go away. It's like pirate, you know? So what? Okay. So how it works in Spain about the intellectual property. So, the things that during all the years, every time that the industry wanted to sue a website where they share links, they lost the trial, because, well, they always lost. So they try to find a mechanism in order to avoid using youths by the administrative way. No? They even pressed the US to include Spain in the special 301 report, which is a report where all the countries that concern to the US according in subject of intellectual property, they are there is like a shame to be in this list. So the industry in Spain pressed the US to include ourselves in this list.
Same with parties in Sweden, by the way. They also threatened to
Yes.
use this.
So after we get in this list, the lobbies complain about being in this list, you know. Thanks to WikiLeaks, we know after that about these secret meetings. So Leysin, what's it? In Spain they choose to act against webmaster, never against users, because it's a lost war. So Sindeac replaced the judicial proceeding by an administrative one. So they judge on you, but without youths. So due to the US secret meetings, we renamed the Sinde Act. Well, it was not called Sinde, but it was a long name, but we call it Sinde. We renamed it to Biden Sinde Act because of the US influence. Another fact is that the people that compose the commission to decide if a website is illegal or not was totally unknown, and you couldn't know these people. After 2 years, we finally got the list of members. Of course, the lobbies were in this list. We also had a tool to do massive email campaigns when it was no mainstream. Now everybody knows change.org on this kind of website, but in this time they were not known. So we set it up and used it a lot of times, also with against the voting of the Sinde Act in the Congress. One interesting and funny fact is that during one of our mailing campaigns, our deputies had to receive a new iPhone in order for them to do their work, they said. So they automatically configured the email in the iPhones, and we didn't realize about that, but one day a politician was complaining in Twitter because every iPhone was ringing in the Congress and they were running out of battery. And we didn't even realize, we didn't just use it as a normal email campaign, and then we realized that it happened. It was funny. Finally, the Sinde Act didn't pass, and so it was a victory. They were trying to do a lot of deals with other parties because they had not all the power to pass the law. So when, well, after they voted it, all the times they needed to pass it, they finally passed the act. And finally there's a new elections because the government didn't finish its period. So in 2011 there was another election. It was the new Minister for Culture who decides to finally implement this law, because it was only the law. So we again renamed the law to Biden Sinde Wet, but we sorted at Sinde Wet. One of this was also oh, I must go faster. One of another campaign was showing our faces, because they were accusing people in the internet of being anonymous and so courageous because of that, no? Well, the industry did a web page where the people enter their full name and explain how allegedly they have lost their jobs because of piracy. So, but it was totally fake. I cannot show you, but there were some fake names, or also to, well, I still think, to make the list longer. And we did a web page where people could upload a picture from them, from the camera, or just take one from the webcam. And this was also a very nice action. We wrote a anti-censorship manual collaboratively between. Yeah, it was in a wiki. So during 7 months, people wrote in a wiki, and with the content, we finally did a book also in paper version, ebook and paper. We got more than 11,000 downloads in 24 hours, and I can show you the list. It's focused on people that doesn't know much more about computers. So we have also screenshots for Windows, Mac, everything, and it's very well. It's easy things, but we thought maybe one day the people need to avoid censorship, so you can have this book on your shelter, and one day maybe you realize that you need it, so you just have to do step by step what it says. And we explain different techniques, like changing DNS or using proxies or blah blah blah, and also using Tor, these things.
So it's not only against censorship, but against surveillance.
Yes, also surveillance.
Okay.
A bit of. We also did a list of what's the name? Where you can host, you can rent servers anonymously and these kind of things. Some of them were in Sweden as well. So I have 2 actions more to show you. This one was also a really good one. I was really involved in this one. And it was called Where the Enlaces is, like, and also a play of words, like saying website of links, so kind of it. So a good thing about seeing the act is that copyright reports are resolved in order of arrival. So as we wanted to test how this commission worked, what we did is also the industry was bragging about, oh, we have a list of pirate websites and we will be the first in reporting them, so they will be closed very soon and blah blah. So in order to participate in this campaign, you had to include a link of a copyright work in your blog or website without the permission of the author. So M. Navarro, which was the author of this work, was teamed up with us. And the idea was that the first day when the law comes, as usual, we will sue ourselves. I mean, he will go to this commission, to the ministry, and sue us. So it went really well, and we were. He presented 200 reports that had, as it was resolving in order of arrival, they had to resolve it before the industry presented their own. So we blocked this commission for some time. This was the website. You see also it's always very simple website, we explain the campaign. And in this case, we include a innovation that was that, how do you say? Well, it doesn't matter. So as expected, this act was thought for the industry and not for the small authors. and the author couldn't submit some of the information they requested. So finally, the 200 reports were closed. They didn't do nothing, but it blocked them for several years, for several months. So at the end, this lays in there, which is now 2 years working. Practically, they haven't closed any website. We had some news in the press saying that the first website that is closed is this one. But I was checking yesterday, and no one of those is already closed. And the last action I want to show you, which also have a video, is against Bankia. Bankia is one of the biggest scandals in Spain. It's a name of several banks that grouped, and it's in economics there's a theory called too big to fail, which means that there are certain institutions that it's worse to let them crash. So the government must help them. It doesn't matter how much money they need. In fact, this is the money they have received, more than 45,000 million euro. Well, they have done a lot of really bad things, like cheating on old people. They continue to evict people.
That's not our project, or?
Yes, that's the last one I will show you.
Okay.
So, yes, I also want to show you this case, kind of legal immunity they have. Miguel Blesa was the ex-chairman of Caja Madrid. This was one of the banks that composed Bankia. So in this year, in May the 16th, a judge orders jail for him, and he go to jail because of favor treatment to businessmen and this stuff. The next day, he's released after paying 2.5 million euro as bail. In June, he's sent to prison again, but this time without bail. 15 days later, in June the 20th, the public prosecution in Spain thinks that the judge has been impartial and orders to release him immediately, and he's released again. And the next month, the judge is suspended for 4 months and fined for 600 euros. So you guess what happens. Yeah, and they also covered by police, obviously. This was one demonstration in Madrid. Yeah, this is the action. It's called Toque a Bankia. Toque means like hit, like, but not in a, yeah, like this, like in his finger. Yes, poke, exactly. So what was left in the was a new action. We wanted to DDoS banks in real life. First, how it worked, we got a list of all offices all around the world, of Bankia. We did a website that helped people to organize by area, so that they will go to some Bankia office, the closest one. Once they get there, they have some examples of things to do, like asking if, the idea was to block during one day all the offices. So they had some advice to do, like asking for information about preferred share or evictions or things that people can do in a bank or whatever they want. They also could donate to some support sent to NGOs, or they could fill claim forms if they don't like the answer they get from the staff, or just making queues and greet the staff. or ask the staff to change a note into cents, or and the opposite, the cents into notes, this stuff. Or also ask the staff kindly to read you the small print of some contract, or bring crickets to the, crickets? Gri, 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 this animal? Gri, gri, gri.
Yes.
To the office and release them on this stuff. So this was the website. You just had to read how it works, and then you could register. Yeah, this is how it works. Yeah, and also you have a map to find your closest office.
But do you have any, how would you call it, moral problems with that the person you're annoying at the bank is mostly, or maybe the most innocent in the entire building,
Yeah.
or in the entire banking system?
Yeah, some people say the same, but at the end they have to work from 8 to 3 in the morning.
Okay, so
It's like
they should
They
stand it.
just work there, and people ask, because it's a good action, because it's very hard to criminalize. It's just people asking for things in the bank,
Yeah.
or changing money, or it's completely legit actions,
Yeah. But crickets are really nasty.
Well, nobody did that, I think.
Yeah.
As far as I know, they
Yeah.
So the conclusion was that, very good reception. Another thing is that you could register in the website by using your Facebook account or just by email. And it was thought before that using Facebook maybe, in hacktivists we don't promote Facebook or close alternatives. But in this case, the idea was to reach lots of people. And they also thought about using Facebook, and it worked really well because they blocked the mechanism to log into this page using Facebook the day before of the action. So we get a lot of more press attention. And it didn't matter because we also had an email mechanism to register, so people could continue registering. So people really self-organized. Another funny fact was that some offices were already closed when people were there, because they had read about the action, and they just preferred to close the office, saying that, we have 2 days, we are sorry, we have no electricity, or things, excuses like this. Another fact that we know is that police has learned to use Twitter, and it was shown that they follow the timelines of some organizations that were tweeting about, now we will go to this is the next office. So police arrived first to this place. We also had an Android application, and the idea was providing the phone numbers of all offices. So you could also, if you couldn't go to the office in person, you could call easily, and also block their system. We wanted also to try to block faxes, but we didn't arrive on time.
But faxes are
This is the
great.
this is the simple application, really simple. I wanted to show you one of the videos. The good thing about this action is that a lot of people participate, even people that had never participated in activism before, or they were individuals or little organizations like PA, as I explained before the gala. I want to show a video of this day. There was a music band that even went to this action to play inside of a bank. Oops.
No sé qué preferente que me metieron. Ay, fue el director quien me dijo, esto es como un plato fijo, no se debe preocupar.
Well, the lyric is about how the bank cheat on him or some people. Well, you want... Oh, well, you got the idea.
So they just let them sing.
Yeah, you know, when it happens in an office, there's always a group that tries to mediate, so nobody is, of course, it's not violent, it's nothing. But they just say, well, we will finish and we go out. It's better for them to wait 5 minutes than,
Call the police.
yes, because they want to arrive in time. So that's a bit of, that's the presentation. Well, of course, feel free to copy us, and that's what we want. If you have questions or comments, I'm happy to answer you. And this is the website hacktivistas.net, the mailing list, and we also have a source code repository where we upload our websites so that other people can reuse the.
Sorry, you don't have to write it down because we will put all these links to the Titan pad we are creating.
No, I'm not. I'm just writing it down so she.
Oh, fine. Yeah, I will give it to you after online.
So that's all.
Thanks.
Any questions?
Ich glaube, das ist die Musik.
You want to see the rest of the?
We went
Yeah.
dance.
It takes 5 minutes, you say that?
It's also a traditional song that everyone knows, but with the words, the lyrics are changed.
Was?
Ist das ein Problem?